lesser energy in the room, right? Okay, so now let me energize more, right? That's what I'm going to do. We'll be asking certain questions. That's what I've been told, that we have to ask certain questions so that you guys can get some prizes. That's what being told to me by organizers, right? I'll start, and Dr. Sahu has given me just 15 minutes, so I have to be little fast, because I thought that I'll get more time, but I have to be little fast. Now, what is happening today about cyber security? So, what I am going to cover in next 14 minutes now, mostly about how artificial intelligence can play a major role, impactful role in the shaping your cyber security, right? How we are going to deliver cyber security for the next generation, and what's happening today, right? Now, certain things, right? We all, this year is all about, everyone is talking about AI and ChatGPT, right? How many of you have used ChatGPT? Quite a few, right? And for what purpose? Anybody has mixed these two things, ChatGPT and cybersecurity? Anyone? See, I have used it, I can tell you, and I used it for a very different purpose, right? Well, I forgot to wish my wife on Valentine's Day, so I wanted to write a note. So I just went on ChatGPT, wrote a note, and that was a beautiful note. So finally, I could manage that. I don't know about others, but how this can be used, there are certain good things about artificial intelligence, right? It has minimized lot of time to develop a vaccine, and AI was used to minimize the time to develop a vaccine for COVID-19. Similarly, there could be multiple other good uses of artificial intelligence. But whereas we have recently seen a deep fake about two of the celebrities, right? That was also being done by using AI, right? So that's a flip side of using artificial intelligence in cyber security domain, right? And let's talk about human element. Now, ChatGPT, while we can write certain good things by using ChatGPT, certain good things, but you can also write code. You can also write ransomware codes by using ChatGPT. If you go there and you say that, okay, I want to write a ransomware code, perhaps it will say no, it's restricted, right? But if you say how we want to write ransomware code, it will give you certain examples that this is how you can use ChatGPT, right? This is how you can write ransomware code. This is how you can create a botnet, and there are multiple other you will get frameworks of the botnet. Those are readily available on this, right? So this is a human element of generative AI which we are talking about. So GPT-4, and now we are talking about GPT-4 4.5. That's more dangerous, right? If we misuse it, or we usage goes into a bad hands, perhaps it can create more dangerous world for us. So what we were thinking that it may not be much useful, at the same time is creating a lot of different issues for cyber security people in this, right? Now, what happens, this era is all about new cyber attack records have been done in the 2022, and it started from 2019 or 2020, when we have seen large scale attacks, right? And the number of attacks are minimizing. I'll share in my following slides. Number of attacks are minimizing, but the potential has gone manifold up. If you see the mass fake, Dropbox, Okta, Uber, LinkedIn, everything was compromised in 2022 and 2023, in the earlier days of 2023, right? Higher nation involvement has is happening. All you see, there are much state sponsored attack. Russia's invasion of Ukraine is just one thing which has happened in 2022, right? Today we are seeing power grid attacks. Attacks on utilities are all time high in India, right? Then ransomware attacks, the one entire country was held ransom, right? Held for ransom, entire country. Forget about certain counties or the districts, the entire country was held for ransom for good 20-22 days. Utilities, we have seen multiple utilities, including certain utilities in India, those have been under ransomware attack. We have seen supply chain attacks, right? We have seen new different vectors of attacks, right? The mobile attacks are all time high. If you see the smaller attacks and all these things are happening on a very, very high scale. And what is happening then, if you go by 2019 World Economic Forum report, it says that we are dealing with the shortage of skills, right? That is the biggest problem. We have huge gap of skilled labor when it comes to the cyber security, and that's worldwide. It's not just in India, because we are doing transformation in the digital sector so fast that our skill gap is actually widening. It's actually widening day by day. And if you see the last 6 months summary of the threat intelligence, what kind of threats we have seen, and this is done by Checkpoint Research organization. We have a dedicated research organization within our team. They do all that research. If you see, per week attacks in India are around 2,120, and these are known attacks. And if you compare with the our peers in global, we are almost having a double, right? 1:2 ratio between global attacks and attacks on Indian infrastructure, right? What is top malware in India is REMCOS. While this is not so popular in the other Asian countries or in globally, but that is the top malware. That's what is operating in India. In 2 rats, 2 info stealers, 1 crypto miner, 1 botnet. So that's how these are the threat intel summary which is being prepared by us. Email has always been a #1 threat vector, and that remains, right? 58% of the malicious files were actually being delivered by email, and that's unfortunately that's the most neglected area for most of us, right? We use Gmail for the work purpose, then we use the same laptop for our different purposes, right? So there are multiple applications which are running on a same machine, and we don't know what actually we are downloading, right? We go on a certain applications, we don't know whether these are malicious or not, but we are downloading all those applications on our machine, which may be a later point in time they are talking to command and control and creating all the stealing all your data, maybe encrypting all your data. So if you compare all these crypto miners, ransomwares, etc., with the global peers, we will find almost 1:3, 1:2 kind of ratio with our global peers. That's just a summary. We can go more into detail. If you see the most impacted industries, healthcare in India has been most impacted industry, and there are regions, because we were growing and we were doing all the good things which perhaps world didn't want us to do, right? From vaccine development to the various medicine development, we were moving at a rapid pace, and some of the bad actors, they didn't want us to do that on a fast pace. So that's perhaps the reason in last 6 months healthcare industry was under tremendous attack. Then our research is again related to the healthcare and various defense research establishments which were under attack. Utilities, as I said in the beginning, worldwide you will find utilities are under attack, right? If you compare in the right side, the smaller charts which talks about the global, right, you will see contrast. Utilities are there at the number 3, whereas globally government and military is number 3, right. So government and military establishment is number 4 in India, whereas globally it is number 3. So since many of the things we generally don't come out, that's why our government and military chart shows that we are at number 4 when it comes to the various kind of attacks. But these are the industries which are most impacted in the last 6 months. What are the top threat source countries from where these threats are originating? You would be surprised to know that US still remains at the number 1. That's the threat. When we talk about source from where these threats are originating, you would be surprised that US remains at the number 1, right. Now, what are the attack vectors? If you see email, again the 58% of the things were being delivered by using email, and 42% web. right. What has happened, this threat landscape, I am moving bit fast, so you can ask questions and I will ask questions at the end. But what is happening, if you see, the yellow ones, these are the, ransomwares, and if you see from the beginning, right, every year we had major ransomware attack across the globe, major. I mean, I forgot about some of the countries were held for ransom, some of the armies were held for the ransom worldwide. Something has happened in Latin America, that was in the news, right. The entire country, the president was under siege, he couldn't do anything, he has to sign a bill that yes, cyber security is a real threat to country, right. Those bills have been passed in multiple countries, including US and some of the Latin American countries. So, every month we have seen tens and millions of attacks and 400,000 0 days attack in last couple of years, starting from Feb 2021. Right. So, this is exceptionally dangerous, and why it is happening, if you see, see, beside whatever we are doing, but these breaches incidents are still happening. What is happening? We started in the 90s, this is our cyber journey. So, we were somewhere around, we are doing antivirus protection. Some of the people in the room, they would have started their journey into 90s, right, some of our guests here. So, those days we used to sell antivirus because that was the beginning of the cyber era, right. Then we moved into the stateful firewall somewhere in the 2000, and in 1995, we are a 30-year-old company. We started our operations, Checkpoint started operations in 93 with the first internet firewall, right. Then we moved with the Gen 3, that is IPS, Gen 4, we started doing behavioral analysis, and now it is a multi attack vectors which are happening, and that is where we foresee a gap, right. This is the gap between most of our enterprises, irrespective of the government, military or education, healthcare. The gap is between Gen 4, Gen 5, and now we are talking about Gen 6 attacks, where you will see multiple vectors and multiple ways of payloads which are getting attacked at the same time. Now, that is where we have a gap. Now, the second point is that we have thousands and thousands of silos solution. If you see, one large enterprise must be using somewhere between 12 to 30 different security solutions in silos. They do not talk to each other, they do not understand each other's language, and creating lot of operational challenges for every enterprise. So, these are certain silo solutions. Today we deal with at least 10,000 different security companies, right. And then the shortage of cyber security professional, that is the biggest problem for all of us. I think that is where our government is also thinking that same direction, that cyber security should be early in the stage, just from 6th, 7th onward, there has to be a courses on cyber security is started, and these breaches etc. will keep happening. Now, how we can power, now let us talk about prevention, because all these data points etc. and everything was I am not scaring anybody here, but how we can use AI for the good. Now, one is, it's very difficult to invent these exploits and these kind of methods. The mass fake, deep fake etc. we recently talk about, new attack spaces like the AI bots attacking AI models, and these will create more and more problems in the near future, as well as for the longer duration, that will keep happening, right. So, how the entire cyber security should look like? One is a comprehensive, where you manage all your threat vectors, right, network from code to cloud. That is what we say, that it has to be comprehensive cyber security, wherein you can secure your code up to the cloud. Whatever is happening in between these two, code to cloud, everything is secure. So, that is where we say that first C stands for a comprehensive, that security should always be comprehensive. The first principle of cyber security is a comprehensive, second is consolidated. Now, since we deal with multiple different silo solution, people have started talking about consolidation of the security solutions, and Gartner also talks about consolidating all the security solutions, right. So, that is the second principle of best cyber security. Third is collaborative, that you should talk to each other, you should share information with each other. So, that is a collaborative. These are the three best principles of the any cyber security practices, right. How you can prepare your response plan. I will take one more minute, right. I just need to borrow one more minute. So, how can we prepare a response plan? One is that keep calm, get your house in order, that is the hygiene, cyber hygiene. It starts with us and it ends with us. So, the human element has to be taken care, that is important. Second is prevention mindset. Our mindset is more about having that we have detected something, that is not sufficient. We have to have mindset where we talk about preventing those attacks. Detection is just not enough. AI driven. Now, because we deal with a massive amount of data, so it has to AI driven, ML driven, so that your response is much faster and much accuracy is much better, it is more efficient, more effective. Now, fourth is, as I talked about, comprehensive, consolidated and collaborative security. So, these are the four pillars. On basis these four pillars, you can prepare your response plan. Now, before I move, there are three key points to apply for next gen threat prevention. One is the prevention first approach, I just discussed about it. Second is our AI based, and third is scale, because the way we are dealing with our data, it's a massive amount of data we generate, and every day we deal with that data. Unless we do not scale, our cyber security solutions are not scalable, perhaps we are missing a bigger picture over here. So, that is all I had, ladies and gentlemen.